welcome to another video. I'm sure by the thumbnail you've probably guessed at what we're doing today. If not, we are working on my little Fiesta and we're going to be fitting some track day door cards. I've had this car on the road about a year now and it's never had any door cards and it doesn't look too great. So the plan today is to fit some track day door cards from Track Day Door Cards. So this is a very nice, well presented kit. It comes with a door card, as you can probably imagine. You've got a little doodah on there to fit your door pull, and I think you have to pay extra. I paid extra for these bits, but you also get some fitting bits that I've already had out, and the little grommets that hold it in place. It's a very simple install. I've actually taken the liberty of already fitting one already. This is one that I've already fitted. It looks quite smart in my opinion, and it certainly looks a lot better than what we've got going on the other side. Please ignore the tartan. The Mrs. Leg sticks to the leather. So why don't we crack on with the job at hand and get started. If you've got door cards, then of course the first thing you're going to need to do is remove them. That's quite a simple job. I can't remember off the top of my head how many screws there is. I think there's 2 or 3. There's definitely one in here, which is for the handle. And there might be another one down the front here somewhere, a hole in the front of the door card. And then there's just a bunch of poppers where these things go, and the door card should pop off. Once you've done that, you'll be at a very similar stage to where I am. I'm going to remove what I have a door card, which is this pull right here. Alright, so the next thing you're going to need to do is remove this bit, which is your window switch holder bit. My other side was riveted in, so I'm assuming they're originally riveted in, so you're going to need to drill your rivets out. If they are screwed in like they are here, then just undo your screws and take it off. Right, I've done that now, and to make my life easier, I am going to cut the zip tie. This will give me a little bit more room later on to play with, trying to get the door card on, as the location of the switches does move. As you've probably noticed, the new door cards don't come with holes for speakers. Which is something that I might add later on, but I'm going to remove the speakers now, as I do have speakers in the back there. And at the end of the day, this is mainly a track car, so a good sound system isn't necessary for me. I just need some sort of noise when I do drive on the road. So I'm going to remove the front speakers. That's my next job. Right, now that we've removed the speaker, and in my case not refitting, you might be refitting yours, so please skip this step. What I always like to do is make sure these wires can't touch anything, short out and cause any sort of wiring issues. I've already got some nice sleeves on here, and as I'm down the yard today, I had to bring all my tools with me. Well, I've forgotten 2 tools, one of them being electrical tape, which I would normally use on this sort of job, and the other one being a centre punch, which I'm definitely going to need today. Fortunately, I have a Phillips screwdriver, which seems like a perfect tool for the job. So what I have got that was in the car is parcel tape, and realistically this is just going to hold these boots up so they don't touch nothing. These boots are long enough that they're not going to cause any issues anyway. I just like that little bit of extra security that they're not going to move and cause any sort of wiring contact to anything. So let's do that now. Okay, so that's that job done. The next one we've got to move on to now. I'm just going to tuck those away. Got to remove this. This has got to go on over the top after the door card goes on. So this is literally just one screw. Take it off, and then you've got to very gingerly remove the cable here. You can break the plastic, and it's also really awkward to get out. So if you're very easily annoyed, you might be at your wit's end with this, but it is doable. And no, there isn't really a cheat code for it, unfortunately. For anyone who might be struggling to remove this, you've got 2 little hooks at the back here, and this opens up when you put the screw in it to hold it still. You have to pull the front out first and then push towards you. I generally try and pull and push it at the same time. It generally seems to work better than just pulling. If you were to just pull, you might end up breaking these, so I would push and pull at the same time, and that hopefully it will release nice and easily. Obviously, looking underneath here, the back part of this, one-handed is a pain in the ass. This bit needs to be pulled up away, and then you can see under there the cable goes in the bottom, but the cable does only, I can't really show you on camera, but there's a little slit in the back of the handle there that the cable slides out of, so you need to open the handle up and take the cable out at the same time, so it's a little bit of a ball ache. As you can see, once you've popped that out of the bottom and you've got your cable out, there's your little slit that I was talking about. That then pushes out the bottom like so, and then comes apart. So yeah, it is a little bit fiddly, but it can be done, and The plastic doesn't seem too brittle on these. I've done a few of these now, so hopefully you won't have any issues breaking it. Okay, so now we've got the door card stripped down, we can begin preparing, ready to put the door card on. If you've had door cards fitted to it, you're going to have these little grommets where your door card fitted originally. These need to be removed. You don't need these again, so just go around the door and take all of those off. I think I may already be missing some of mine. Probably was taken off by the previous owner when they stripped the doors off originally. So I'm going to take all those off now, and we'll get through to the next step after that. These are really easy to break. I am breaking mine as I take them out because I'm not going to be using them again. As you can see by the design of them, they have like a little hook bit on the inside. If you squeeze them to pull them out, you can do it. But as I'm not using them again, I have just been breaking them, and I found the easiest way to do that is to stick a screwdriver in there, bash it towards the door, break the back off, and then just pull towards you for the front bit to come off. So if you're not reusing them, I just do that, to be honest. Okay, so I've all done that now, it's all removed. This door card kit utilises these little grubby, screwy type things. They've got a little sleeve inside them, and when you do them up, they compress, which bulges the edges out, which makes them hold in place. Perfect solution to this little thing, other than potentially using riv nuts. And I do like riv nuts, but this will be quite a good little solution, so I'm quite pleased that the kit comes with all that. You do have to drill out your holes as they are not the right size. They recommend that you drill these out to a 9.5mm hole, which is perfect for these to slot into. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to drill them out to a 10mm hole, and I will show you why in a minute. As I mentioned before, this does utilise pretty much all of the original holes. You'd have to drill a couple of extras along the top here that it doesn't exist already. So I'm going to go around all of these holes and drill these out to 10mm. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to mock my door card up, and then I can find the locations to centre punch with my Phillips screwdriver all of the holes that I'm going to need to drill. As you can imagine, this is how these are intended to be fitted. You're supposed to fit these first, then put your door card on, then put your screws in. And if the holes don't 100% line up amazingly, which I did notice on the other side, they do line up, but they do require a little bit of sort of force to get them straight. And so I found the easiest way to put these in, realistically for me, was to drill these out for 10mm. Don't put that in first. Put that on the back of your door card like that, and then you can use these as guides. So they just go straight in, you do them up, and then they're on. Not only are you not having to fight it to get all of them in the right position, and you're also not going to cross thread them because they're already together, it will just fall into place. So I'm going to stick that on now, do these two up, and then I can mark all of my holes ready to drill those out for the top here. Okay, right, I do apologise for the sun being in the screen. We've got our door card on. I've just put these two M1s in for now. As I've mentioned in the last one, they just slide in and then you do them up. If you want to do it the other way and have them fixed to the door, drill it as a 9.5mm hole, not a 10. But if you want to do it this way, 10 is absolutely fine. Next, I've got to mark all of these holes along the top here. I forgot my centre punch, I forgot my tape, and I also forgot my Allen key. Fortunately, my other car in the barn has an Allen key from doing my steering wheel up, so fortunately I've managed to save the day with that one. Yeah, let's get all these holes punched. Alright, so we have centre punched all of our holes. As you can see, I've got one just there, one here, going along the whole lot. It almost looks like I used a centre punch. I didn't use a screwdriver though. I managed to find a screw laying around, so I just used that, and it's done a perfect job. So didn't need the centre punch in the end. I also forgot a hammer as well. Good job we had one down here, only a little tiny one though, but it's done the job. So the next thing I'm going to do is drill these holes out. Once again, I'm going to go straight up to 10mm. I'll start small and work my way up, and then I'll get the step drill bit out. There is two layers of sheet metal on this door all the way up to the top. In the middle here, you don't have to go through both bits, but I think on these first two here you do. So yeah, just make sure you check that this goes all the way in. Okay, so I've got my pilot holes drilled, and as I thought, yeah, it was the first two. You have to drill through 2 layers of metal, and then the rest of them is just 1 layer. If you put your finger in your drill bit as you take it out, and then just measure it against the bit of the grommet, you quite easily tell you if it's deep enough or not. So yeah, now we're just going to make that hole bigger in steps until we get it to 10mm. Okay, so we've got all our holes drilled out. As you can see, you've got your 2 layers of metal there that I've had to go through to make them fit. I was going to say, you do also have another layer on these ones, but they are deep enough for you to not have to go through them, which is nice. Now we've got to drill a hole for the pull strap, which is down there. Fortunately, there's already a hole that you can use. You just need to enlarge it. And the hole that is already there, we're going to drill out is this one here. So it's just one big one, one little one, then you've got another little one. This is an original one, I think, for that bracket we took off earlier. This one just needs to be enlarged and is in the perfect location for us to put our pull cord handle. I'm using riv nuts, so I need to drill a hole out big enough to fit this little doodah in there. And then I'm going to hold it on with that. Okay, so that's the next step completed. We've got a little riv nut in there. We stuck our bolt in. Door pulls on there nice and tight. All of the holes are drilled out. So now what I'm going to do is remove the sheeting off the front of that and fit all of our screws to the door card. Right, I just spent the last 5 minutes in my deck chair putting all my bolts on the back of me, or studs I suppose I could call them, on the back of my door card. Now what I'm going to do now is go over there. I've got to feed the door card strap or the pull handle through. I've also got to plug in the switch and put that through, and also make sure that you don't lose your pull cord for your door handle. Get the door card on, all of them hanging out, and then we'll get through to the next step. This is a prime example of why I suggest doing it like this rather than putting these in first. You can literally just push them in, line them up, and go around the whole door card and put them in just like that. There's no hassle, there's no fighting it, it all just falls into place. All you got to do is do them up. There's no trying to line the bolt up with the threads, so you've got absolutely no chance of cross threading them. So I would recommend drilling in a 10mm hole rather than 9.5. Obviously it's each to your own. If you want to do it that the other way, that's absolutely fine. That'll do the job as well. I just got to make sure I feed my bits through my door card, and then I'm going to get all of these nipped up. And obviously before you bash your switch in, just make sure you know which way's up and down. I've done that just there. Right, so I've got the door card on, tightened all the bolts up. Did have to drill out a little bit, holes a little bit. Obviously where I've punched it and drilled it through, they're not gone perfectly straight. So, well, I say perfectly straight, they're not gone perfect in the centre. So there was a little bit of fettling to be done, but that's all turned out okay. We've got the pull cord through, switch in there nice, and the handles on there all hooked up. The handle is a bit of a pain in the ass to get in, especially when fitting it back in with the door card. I actually had to take a little bit of material off of the back here so that I could put it in, because it was a little bit too far, the door card was a little bit too far forward. That is on, and that is it fitted. It is a fairly easy install, and the kit all provided all works absolutely perfectly fine. So I'd 100% recommend using track day door cards if you wanted to fit track day door cards to your car. Alternatively, you can make your own ones. The only reason that you would potentially buy them is that to save you a little bit of time and hassle. Either way, it's definitely having something on the top there definitely looks a lot better than having just an exposed inside of the door. Obviously this car isn't a full bred race car or track car. It is certainly used on the road quite a lot, so I like to have some of the creature comforts like the electric windows and a heater blower and even a radio. But it certainly is nice to do some little bits like this just to tidy up the car a little bit. So yeah, 100% recommend. And if you found this video helpful, please give us a like, and if you fancy seeing more videos like this, give us a subscribe. Thank you for watching.